What up, B-Day students? Here's the practice problems that I've done with all my other classes before they started the quiz. Watch this video. Please use the pause button because I'm going to go quickly through them. But I want you to try them first like we would in class. I tried to record this during class. It didn't work. I want you to try them first and then see why you got it wrong, okay, for the ones that you do get wrong. Okay, so here we go. There are 10 questions. 5 questions are like this, where I'm going to give you a graph of f prime and then ask you different area questions and then a different function value question. And then there's going to be 5 questions like this, where I'm going to give you like info, and then you have to answer the questions, the area questions. Okay, so area puzzle problems. So here we go. First thing I always like to do when I'm given a graph, and we're going to do this question first, is like figure out the areas, write them down correctly from left to right. Too many students, especially with like circles and stuff, mess up simple things like this. And if they mess this up, and especially for your quiz today, you're going to mess up 5 problems in a row if you can't get the correct areas. Okay, so triangles, 1/2 base times height. Base is 2, height is 2. This is 2. This is above the x-axis from left to right. From -2 to 0, below the x-axis, base of 2, height of -2, that's -2. Be careful with circles. This is a quarter of a circle with a radius of 2. So this is 1/4 of a pi times 2 squared. This is pi, but it's below the axis, so it's -pi. Base of 3, height of 2, 1/2 base times height. This is 3. Okay, cool. Well, now I'm going to be able to answer my questions, getting those areas correct. 2 to -2. 2 ways to do this. You can immediately say, oh, I'm going from 2 to -2. I'm going in the opposite direction, so I need the opposite answer. Positive pi, positive 2. Add those together. Or what I like to do for like all the other ones, because pretty much I'm always going right to left to try to trick you, is to say take the opposite from left to right. Okay, opposite of left to right will give me right to left. So the opposite, that means it's the opposite of my area -2 minus pi. Okay, you get the same thing, pi plus 2. Okay, so make sure you get that. On to the second question. Pause and try to do it yourself. Got this number. Don't let this number deceive you. Okay, this is going to be like subtracting an area's worth, a rectangle's worth of area, not just subtracting 2. It's going to be like subtracting 6 actually because of my width. But let's be careful. Don't jump ahead. I always recommend for these puzzles to slowly like unravel the puzzle. So the first thing I unravel is these numbers. I want to go from left to right whenever possible, 2 to 5 whenever possible. Then I'm going to take the opposite of my answer. And then I got f prime minus 2. That stays the same. All that's changing is the numbers. Make a negative. Everything else stays the same. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is split this up. I got the negative. It stays there. I got 2 to 5 of f prime. And then I have the minus 2. Now, you can either do minus 2 to 5 of 2. You could do that. Or you could just do plus 2 to 5 of -2, right? This could be plus a negative. You could do that. It's up to you. That's fine. Now, what you have to do is understand this is a rectangle worth of area. You can either have, height of 2, width of 3, and you're subtracting that. Or right here, the way that I've listed it off, I have y equals -2 from 2 to 5. This rectangle worth of area is -6. So I got the opposite of 2 to 5. I already know from here is 3. This is -6. 3 plus -6 is -3. Take the opposite of it, I get the answer positive 3. Okay, so that's your goal, to get that positive 3. Okay, if you didn't do that, try it again. And then let's go to the last problem. So pause the video, try the last problem, and I'm going to show you the work here. This is the one that everybody messes up on. I don't know why. I think it's because of this -3, and you try to factor it out. My advice, start with the numbers. Don't change anything else. -2 to 2 of -3f prime minus 2. That doesn't change. Now, here's where a lot of people mess up. You got the negative in front. They try to pull out this -3 now. But that's not going to work. And they make it like a +3. But that doesn't work because like you'd have to kind of factor it out of both terms. So what I recommend doing is keep that negative out there and just leave it by itself. Separate these two inside the parentheses into two different areas, two different integrals. So I got -2 to 2 of -3f prime. And I got -2 to 2 of -2. Same thing, either the -2 or the plus the -2. Okay. So -2 to 2 is this -2 minus pi. This -3 can be pulled out. So you have -3 times -2 minus pi. All right. And we'll simplify that in a second. Here, -2 to 2 of -2. That's a width of 4, a height of -2. Okay, right? You can either take the antiderivative and then plug in 2 and plug in -2, or you could just find this area, which ends up being -8. Okay. On your quiz today, you have fill in the blank problems. So since you have fill in the blank problems, you could just type that into your calculator and get the decimal, because that's what I want. I want decimals in your fill in the blanks if they are decimals. So if I just type this into my calculator as I see it, I would get the right answer, which is -7.424. And make sure you round or truncate to the third decimal place, -7.424 or 425, because it's -7.42477. Yeah. Or if you wanted to simplify, you could distribute this -3. That's +6 plus 3 pi plus -8. So that's -2 plus 3 pi. Make it the opposite, +2 minus 3 pi. You do +2 minus 3 pi, you get that as well. Okay. That's tricky. Let's go to the last one. Which is this guy. And this is a review. If f of 5 is 7, what is f of -4? Now, it's pretty obvious. It's like, oh, I have to use this. Okay, but it's like, how do I use this? You got to remember, and go ahead and do this problem if you haven't done it yet, or pause. You got to remember, like, unit 7, position velocity. You know, area under velocity gives me displacement. Area under a derivative gives me a change in a total. So there's two ways I taught you guys how to do this problem. A lot of people forget about the second way, which I don't mention in the homework videos, but I actually have grown to love, which is like, oh yeah, the area from -4 to 5 under f prime will give me the displacement from -4 to 5. Well, if I take my starting point, add my displacement, I'll get my ending point. Many of you don't think of this because of the homework videos. Well, you could do it this way. 7 equals f of -4 plus, from -4 to 5, we don't have to worry about changing any signs. I'm going from -4 to 5. 2 minus 2, that's 0, minus pi plus 3. So minus pi plus 3. Okay, so then I add pi, I subtract 3, I get 4 plus pi. Whatever that number is, we're good. That's one way to do it. The other way to get this 4 plus pi is, and this is what I do in the homework videos, saying my unknown equals my known plus my change between them. Well, my change is my area under my derivative, but starting at 5, which is my known, going to my unknown in this way. And this statement is equivalent to this statement. You know, if you flip this, this turns into a negative. You add it to both sides. All of a sudden, you got f of 5 equals 5 to negative 4 added of f prime. Okay, they're equivalent statements, but some people don't realize that and like to use one way versus the other. So again, f of 5 is 7, but now going backwards, 5 to negative 4, this is negative 3, this is plus pi, this is plus 2, this is minus 2. These cancel out. This is the minus 3 plus pi. And you still get that 4 plus pi. Type that into your calculator. 3.14 plus 4 is 7.14. 7.141 or 7.142. Okay, so that's your first half of your problems. Second half are these. Okay, I'm giving you information. You got a list of information given. You're using the same information for every single problem, like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But not every single piece of information is going to be used for every single problem. So you got to kind of figure out which one to use when. Start with the first one. Pause your video. Do it. Okay? 5 to 0 of f. Well, immediately I'm like, all right, well, let's switch this to 0 to 5. Take the opposite of it. 0 to 5 of f. What do I have? Well, I got 0 to 3. I got 3 to 5. Add these two together, you get 0 to 5. So this is the opposite of negative 3 plus 2. That's negative 1. That's why this is 1. Or you could have just did positive 3 minus 2. Okay. Do the second one. Pause the video. Do the second one. And then ready? I would start. I'm not even looking at the numbers up here. I'm just starting by like simplifying and doing what I know should be done. And then I'll start looking at some numbers. Okay, so flip it. I separate it. I then find some values. So I want 3 to 5, and then I can pull this negative 2. 3 to 5 of g, and multiply that by negative 2. 3 to 5 of, okay, I got 3 to 5 of 4g. Okay, that's cool. Well, you know you could take this 4 out. You know you can divide by 4, and all of a sudden, this is 3. Okay, so that's cool. I can do negative 2 times that 3, that's negative 6. 3 to 5 of negative 3. Okay, another rectangle, height negative 3, width is 2, 3 to 5, that's 2, so that's negative 6. Okay, negative 6 plus negative 6 is negative 12. Take the opposite of that, positive 12. Booyah. Okay, do the last one. This is the trickiest one. There are multiple ways to do this one. I'll show you both ways. Pause the video, do it. Get an answer. And then let's go over things. You know why I'm not there today? I'm at the golf tournament. I'm taking a personal day. My wife and I, we're going to go sit in the sun, watch golfers on a beautiful golf course who are really, really good at what they do. But I'll be back Friday. The top 60 golfers in the world. Anyways, here we go. Ready? 0 to 3G. Here's what a lot of my students did. They're like, I got 0 to 5. I got 3 to 5. A lot of my students, and this is not the way that I did it the first time, said, let's split this one up. 0 to 5 of f minus 0 to 5 of g, that has to equal 6, right? Well, I know what 0 to 5 of f was. 0 to 5 of f was negative 1. So negative 1 minus 0 to 5 of g has to equal 6. Okay, add 1, take the opposite. 0 to 5 of g has to equal negative 7, right? Add 1, take the opposite. We go 6 to 7, take the opposite, negative 7. Okay, cool. Well, you got pretty much everything you need now. 0 to 5 of G equals 0 to 3 of G, which is what we try to find, plus 3 to 5 of G. This is -7. I don't know what this is. 3 to 5 was 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. You get 0 to 3 of G is -10. Okay? I like that method, actually. I think it's easier than the method I'm about to show you, which is how I thought of doing it the first time. It just shows you, like, to each his own. I think maybe this way might be quicker than my way, but everybody's going to get the same answer. Okay, I'm actually going to start with this. I'm not going to split this up. Instead, what I'm going to do is figure out what 3 to 5 of f minus g is. 3 to 5 of f minus g is -1. Okay? So I got 0 to 5, I got 3 to 5. Well, 0 to 5 of f minus g will equal 0 to 3 of f minus g plus 3 to 5 of f minus g. 0 to 5 is 6. 0 to 3, I'm going to come back to that. 3 to 5 is -1. Okay? So I get this. Finishing off, that means this has to equal what? It's got to equal 7. But be careful. If this has to equal 7, that means 0 to 3 of f minus 0 to 3 of g has to equal, why did I put 6? I meant 7. 7. 0 to 3 of f was -3. -3 minus 0 to 3 of g equals 7. Add 3, take the opposite, and you get that -10. That might be a little bit more involved, might be trickier than splitting up that first one to begin with. That actually looked nice. Okay, that's it. Time to take your quiz. It's a time quiz. It's 30 minutes. You only have this class period to take it, so, like, don't delay. Take the quiz. You're only available to see it and do it during the class period. I make sure that of that with the submission enabling from until. So do that, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Learn the lesson on U substitution. Be ready for a quiz on U substitution on Monday.